Hey everyone, this is Will Stiverson, Regional Director with Consumer Energy Options. First off, I just wanted to thank you guys for taking the time out of your busy schedules for doing something really to improve yourself and to help improve your business. We try to make these calls very informational, something that once you get off the call you can use to help you grow personally and in your business. And today I wanted to, well, before I get into the topic, I did want to emphasize today that right now there's never a better time of the year to start getting natural gas customers because we're going into the winter months where the natural gas usage really starts picking up in November. And right now, any of the accounts that you are submitting right now will help you get those big months. In fact, in the month of November alone is like 8 to 10% of most customers' annual usage. That's huge. And then it just grows bigger in December, January, February, and March. So really, all of you that might be brand new right now, this is a great time to get started with us. People know that winter bills are typically go up, and this is a great way to help lock in a fixed rate for them to help protect them from potential winter variable pricing. So anyway, I just wanted to start off with that note. And again, thank you for being on the call. We all appreciate you guys taking the time to do that. But the topic I wanted to cover today is why would somebody choose CEO as a way, it's like a plan B, if you will, income. And if you really break it down to the simple of it, most people need to make extra money. I've got some statistics that I wanted to go over with you. Right now, the average credit card debt among indebted households is approximately $15,000 with an average interest rate of 15%. The average mortgage debt is $147,000. The average outstanding student loan balance is about $32,000. The average auto loan debt is about $31,000. And only 59% of Americans have at least $500 in a savings account saved. Now, those are some pretty staggering numbers, but what really is more staggering than that is the median household income in the country right now is $52,000 a year, which means half the country is making over $52,000, and the other half is making under $52,000. So $52,000 a year works out to be around $4,300 a month before taxes. And if the average American has to service all of that debt I just listed, that's in payments of about $2,000 a month. So they're making $4,300 a month before taxes, and they have to shell out $2,000 a month. That does not leave much wiggle room for any family budget. So the reason why I'm bringing that up to you is, we've got a population that's over 300 million people, so if half of them are making under 52, that's 150 million people that need to make extra money, really, because they can't survive having that type of debt load. I just want to cover that we definitely have a need of people to make extra money. Now, those people that need to make extra money, there's several different ways that most people go to make extra money. One, they try to get more hours at their current job. Two, they'll take a second job, typically hourly, sometimes sales. Or three, start a business. Now, if picking up more time at work or taking on a second job that's hourly or in sales is not a bad gig, but the problem with doing that is you literally are trading your time for dollars. If you put an hour into work, you're going to get paid for just that 1 hour, and it's it. Then you have to do it again to get paid another hour and another hour or another weekend or whatever. Where we're different with CEO, one, it's a business. This isn't a job. It's a business. And you can do the work one time and get paid over and over and over year after year. And I use some income examples. For those of you that are in states that have gas and electricity, if you close 10 houses a month in both gas and electricity, you can make an extra $250 a month. Now, I don't know what that means to you and your budget, but giving those debt examples that I just said to you, an extra $250 a month would pay off all of that debt outside of the mortgage in a matter of, I think, 8 years. What if you improved it to $500 a month? What if you went to an extra $1,000 a month? I want to be very clear that CEO is not a get-rich-quick type company. However, the reality of it is that it is a very serious business in which that you can build a real, true residual income, not only from your personal production, but building a team of agents that are doing the same thing. Now, not everybody might be into team building, but it is important to note that after looking at these financial statistics, that there is a definite need that more people need to make more money. And if you guys are watching any of the election news or anything else, all of them are talking about increasing wages and figuring out how to help people out to increase income and reduce taxes so people have more disposable income. This is a definite way that somebody can do that. And the great thing about what we do is people, we are not looking at adding a brand new bill to what they're spending. This is stuff, if you look at somebody's family budget, the average family budget, rent, utilities, food, and clothing are the 4 most important items on somebody's budget. Now, you can include transportation. That's probably up there too, but some people live in big cities and they don't have to have a car if they don't want to. So if you really look at it, they're spending the money on it anyway. Why not have them buy it from us? Why not have them be your client? Why not go out there and just get the 10 houses a month like I had said? That's an extra $250 a month. You can, especially with our new compensation plan, can build a serious income just off of residential clients. You don't even have to go after commercial if you don't want to. It helps. The volume helps. You get more points, but you don't have to with our new compensation plan. So I would look at what your budget is. I've read a lot of. I have a financial planning background, and I've got a lot of different financial books that I've read, and one of the authors that I've listened to and read a lot about is Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey recommends that you get completely out of debt and have 6 months savings and save for your retirement and everything else, and get some type of budget and plan. Most people don't even have that. The income that you can generate from CEO can make having a plan plausible. I'm sure that there are a lot of people on this call right now that are not even saving for retirement. And if they are, it's not enough. There's probably people on this call right now that have debt, and they don't know how to get rid of it. There's probably a lot of people right now that have kids that they want to go to college but cannot afford to contribute anything to their college education. There's people right now that are probably on this call that would like to retire, and if they do want to retire, is it a matter of fact of are they going to be able to retire with dignity or not? Now, these are real serious things, and then there's people on this call, I'm sure, that might even be retired, and this is just one heck of a fun hobby where they like going out and helping people and getting new accounts. I don't know which person that may be or which person you may be on this call in regards to that, but CEO can provide a solution for you in that regard. All you have to do is work that solution. And last week when I got on the phone, if you are brand new with the company, the recommendation that we have, which is kind of company standard, is you go out, you get your first 3 bills, one of which can be your own, and do the basic training. Once you accomplish that, then you work on getting a few more bills, and then possibly if you're looking at building a team, you don't have to build a team, but if you're looking to build a team and want to maximize the benefits that CEO offers you, think of a couple of people that might need to make extra money. I just told you that the whole country's broke, so there's quite a few options. Just see if you can find a few folks that you think are, full of integrity and quality of character, and in most cases, it always helps if they know other people, if they're centers of influence, they have a positive outlook and attitude. You can bring them onto your team. Once you have that going, the next major goal should be getting to senior consultant. Senior consultant is the first management position that is offered with CEO, and it takes you can get paid 8 different ways when you start with CEO, but once you get promoted to senior, it expands to 16 different ways. Now, I don't know about you, but all of you that have a job or have ever had a job, have you ever had an opportunity with the companies that you work for where you could promote yourself and get a 100% raise? That's strong. That's something to really consider, that you could promote yourself. You didn't have to wait for somebody else to promote you, and you got a 100% raise. Once you get to senior consultant, the next promotion is regional director. Now, if you are really building a team of agents, the most satisfying way for me personally, and why I think is the greatest way to get there, is you help promote 4 senior consultants. And that covers your team points that you need, and you get a few more customers, and you can reach regional. And then national, that's when you're really starting to get serious, and CEO becomes more of a weekly, daily priority than just part-time as you go type thing. And getting to national requires kind of a total different level of thinking, but that all happens with growth. None of this has to happen overnight. That's a great thing about CEO. You can go as fast or as slow as you want to go, but if you're going to condense time frames, I mean, how many of you would like to shave an extra 5 years off of your retirement date? How many of you would like to shave off an extra 5 or 6, 7 years, off of your debt payment schedule? How many of you right now, if you had 6 months living expenses saved up in a savings account, would feel some type of sense of relief? And I'm talking a sense of relief that every day you're going to work, you don't know how you're going to get ahead, and you just got that stress in your shoulders that you can't explain why. Or how about that car that you're looking at that has a lease payment or a debt payment that you wish was just paid off? So none of this is pie in the sky. This is totally doable. We have people in this company that are making comma checks. We have people in this company that are making $250 to $500 to $1,000 a month. This is a solid residual type business, guys, and this is something I would really consider, if I were you, especially now getting into the natural gas best season and the natural gas, to get involved and really get up and go after it. When we were talking about trading time for dollars, if you were thinking, man, I'm going to pick an extra 4 hours this week up at work, see if you could maybe even take an extra 2 of those hours. I mean, most people make, on average, about $15 an hour. That's equivalent of us getting 2 houses on either gas or electricity, just 2 houses. And I'm sure that most of you could probably find 2 people that use energy, that you could help save them some money or help them from being overcharged or help get them on a fixed rate plan so their bills aren't all over the place depending on what state you're at. And that's just 2 people. I mean, I know I could probably find 2 people in a half hour if I really put my mind to it or whatever. So 2 brand new people I don't even know. So that's something that could replace this whole you trading your time for dollars and having this business work for you and having an income then you don't necessarily have to live on, but could ultimately make your life better in so many different ways. So I don't really have much more than that. I just wanted to emphasize, we're a recession-proof business. We are dealing in a product that people are unconsciously paying every single month, really. They don't know they have options in a lot of different cases. And so anyway, if you guys have any questions or something that you want to bring up for discussion or whatever, and it doesn't necessarily have to be about this specific topic, feel free to unmute yourself with *6, and I'll gladly answer any of those questions. Anybody have any questions? Is there some, I'm hoping there isn't any issues with the lines or whatever and you can't unmute yourself. So go ahead and hit *6 to unmute yourself.
What's a good way to approach a small business, like, say, a mom and pop business in a small town?
Do you know them or do you not know them?
I don't know them, so I might, like, say, went into town, bought something from that business, and then was like, oh, hey, I'd like to, well, I guess that's where the question goes then. So do I introduce myself right away, come back later?
If it were me personally, and this isn't the only way, my way isn't the only way, but if it were me personally, I'd go in there maybe every week for about 2 or 3 weeks, create some type of small talk about whatever every single time you're in there, and then say, hey, by the way, one of the things I do is I help businesses just like yours find out if they're being overcharged by the public utilities. But I can't emphasize, I would try to develop a relationship with them first. I don't ever really, to be brutally honest, feel comfortable dealing with somebody cold. And that meaning I have no relationship. I haven't even had a laugh with them yet. I haven't gotten a smile from them yet.
Okay.
I try to develop a little bit of a warm relationship where they recognize me, they remember something that we've talked about, and then I approach it. I don't have to be best friends with them before I do it, but I definitely have had to have some non-CEO related conversations before I bring CEO up.
Okay.
And that, frankly, is what separates us from all of the other suppliers that are cold calling either by phone or with door-to-door efforts. We're primarily successful with CEO because we're a relationship-based business for the most part.
Okay.
Besides that, Steve, if you haven't, I would recommend too that if you don't have a lot of experience with a commercial base, that you literally talk to everybody that you know of that's a homeowner, especially if you're in a state like Illinois where the gas and electricity is deregulated, and then ask them for referrals, because most people don't think about this, but if the average business might be equivalent to 5 or 10 homes, but they might be harder to get. So in some cases, it's just better to get the slam dunk wins with residential and getting those 5 or 10 houses than it is to go after one commercial account if you don't know who they are.
Okay.
You with me on that?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Okay. Like I said, this isn't 10 houses a month, like in a state like Illinois, is an extra $250 a month if you close the gas and electricity. So, and you can get referrals. Just ask people for a few referrals every time you help them out.
Okay.
So, do we have any other questions or concerns? Topics for discussion?
Hey, Will.
Hey, Malcolm.
This is Matt Hirschenberger. Can you hear me?
Oh, hey, Matt. Yeah?
Yeah. Just wanted to make sure. Hey, real quick, I don't have a question, but I did sort of have a comment. First of all, nice job on the training this afternoon. And I liked your topic about the fact that we're all looking for a way to get some additional income. And then also how you sort of tied it in, like, what are you going to do? And I think of our business, and I actually thought of it this morning. How great is it that we have a chance to get paid every time somebody turns on the lights? I mean, I think about this all the time. Can you imagine, when you're thinking about, hey, what am I going to do to meet those needs? Those needs that you were just describing in your talk today. And I can't imagine too many better ways then we get a chance with CEO Energy to get paid every time somebody turns on a light, every time somebody kicks on the heat, every time somebody picks up a telephone and calls, from a business. And the best part about all this is we're helping people while we're doing it. So I just wanted to sort of, comment on that, because if we really think about it, you could think about a lot of things that we could do to earn extra income, but the fact of the matter is, honestly, if you can think of a better way, show me. But I can tell you, I can't find one. This is probably one of the best things you could ever find, to go ahead and put part of your plan B, which you talked about in your talk today. So I thought about that while you were having your conference call, and it's kind of a neat thing.
Well, Matt, thank you very much for that comment. You're absolutely right. And the other great thing with CEO, too, guys, and I forgot to mention this, and after you just brought that up, Matt, Plan B could eventually become your Plan A. I mean, if you didn't have really any other debt and your CEO income was surpassing your income from your job, I mean, that would be, just imagine this. Imagine you don't have any debt outside of your house. You had 3 to 6 months living expenses saved up in a savings account, and your check from CEO was the exact same amount, if not more, than the check that you had from your job. You have options now. You have options, and then it could be you could make the decision safely without compromising your family and your financial situation. You could safely leave your job and do this full time. So, but it all starts somewhere. It all starts with getting a few bills. It all starts with getting promoted. It comes from helping other people get what they want out of this company. And I can tell you right now, if you can teach a whole bunch of people how to make an extra $250 a month on a part-time basis, I'm just telling you, your income will explode. And if you can get them to $500 a month and $1,000, that's great. But it all starts with getting a few bills, getting a few promotions, and helping those people do the same thing. And all that is gathering customers and getting people that want to gather customers too. So, any other questions or things to discuss?
Will, I'm Ed from Boston.
Hey, Ed, how are you?
Good, and you?
Good.
I found I was all new to this. I was a store manager for a long time, and they laid me off, and I was making pretty good income. Now I'm working a couple of jobs, and I found out the training. I went on the basic training you had, and when you did that, the calling where you role played on the phone.
Yeah.
Anyone new, I suggest you go there because that was excellent.
Oh, okay. Ed, I'm glad that you brought that up. I know that all of you that are new, or even maybe that you've been around for a little while, might have I'm sure that there's a little level of fear that you may have of what to say to people. Like the biggest fear in any sales is, my gosh, if the person sitting across from me asks me a question that I don't know the answer to, then my God, that could end the sale. And that fear is so strong, that it paralyzes people to talk to anybody. And so what Ed is talking about is there was a phone recording, a conference call just like we had today that I did with Bob Zabik, one of my top agents in my organization, and we literally role-played like I was calling him as if he were a client. I think there was the 8 most common objections that you get. And I forgot about that call, but I can tell you I haven't listened to that call since I recorded it or did it. But I can tell you that I've heard a lot of people say that it was useful, and Ed just, I guess, endorsed it himself. So I'd recommend all of you, if you haven't listened to that and you have some time, to listen to that too. So.
Also, I joined the gym, and any place like that is a great networking. I tell people in my church, also in my gym area, and every person you see has at least 10 friends.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And really, guys, if it just gets into basically what you need to say, is we help people find out if they're being overcharged on their utility bills. How we do it and all the specifics of that, it is not necessary to have to give to the person until after you've gotten their bills. All you want to do, quite simply, is find out if they're being overcharged. There are times where we cannot help them because they're all set. So, I mean, it doesn't mean that every single bill we get is going to be able to help them out. So that's why it's very easy for you guys to just say, look, I just want to find out if you're being overcharged. And if you come back, say, hey, looks like you're all set, whatever the reasons may be, and then that's it. Then there's going to be a lot of times when that isn't the case and we can help them out. But we have no way of knowing that until we get a copy of the bill. And it is perfectly okay to be ignorant until you get a copy of those bills. It is totally okay because you cannot give them a solution until you find out what they have going on with themselves with part of their utility bills. You cannot give them a solution. You can't tell them what to do. You can't recommend anything until you see a copy of that bill. And if people ask you a lot of questions, how do you do this and how do you, it's not even necessary to answer it because you could give them a 15-minute explanation of what we do, get a copy of their bill, and find out you can't do anything for them. So you're just better off getting the bill first, then explaining how we do it and how we go about it. Thanks, Ed, for your topics. I really appreciate that. And those were great ideas, by the way, as far as your church. You've joined a gym, opportunities to meet people. That's a great suggestion.
Cool, thank you.
Anybody else have any other questions or things, topics you might want to cover? Is there anybody that's having any issues right now talking to people or getting copies of bills? Okay. How about recruiting? Is there anybody that you really wanted to bring into this business, but you either haven't talked to them or you've talked to them and they're not giving you a response that's moving them towards CEO? Okay. Well, I just at some point you guys might run into that. So anyway, it's getting close to the 1:30 mark. So unless there's any other questions or comments or things for discussion, I'm going to end the phone call for today. It's the last call. Okay, well, guys, on that note, I want you guys to have a great week. Like I said, now is an awesome time, especially if you're in the northern states where you have winter, to go out and get some gas and electricity bills. So anyway, thanks again for your time. We at CEO really appreciate it, and you guys are really making great steps into your future with our company by being on these calls. Thanks, and have a great day, guys.